Welcome back to Two Drs Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is Prepper Pantry Pick of the Week. And this week's Prepper Pantry Pick was boiled peanuts. I'll be honest, I've never had boiled peanuts, certainly not in the can, but it's got a pop top, and I'm going to crack it open. But first, let's talk a little bit about Prepper Pantry. We've been doing this every week for a while now. I haven't counted the episodes, but I know we passed the year mark. Every week we take you shopping with us, we pick out an item, and we talk about where it fits into a long-term food storage pantry, what's the nutritional information, and if you only had this to live on, how well would you be doing? How many cans of boiled peanuts would you need to survive and thrive, right? So we look at that every week, talk about your long-term food storage pantry, and this week is boiled peanuts. So this can, one can, which is 25 ounces. It's got some weight to it. It's got some squishy in it. One can of boiled peanuts, peanut patch, was $2.37. There's 8 servings in the container, 100 calories per serving, 800 calories in the can. So this can itself is 800 calories. Now, when we talk about calories, there's two numbers we generally use, either 2,000 calories, which is sort of the FDA recommended nutritional diet, and that's what all the percentages and nutritional information is based on, a standard 2,000 calorie diet. Sometimes we'll talk about 1,500 calories, which is considered the starvation level, and obviously that depends on you and your metabolism and your health and your body and all sorts of factors. You have to do what makes sense for you. But those are the numbers we use, right? So 2,000 calories could be considered one day's worth of food. And if all you had was a can or a case of boiled peanuts, where would you be? So in order to get to 2,000 calories, you'd need 2.5 cans, which would cost you $5.92 for 2.5 cans of boiled peanuts, and that's equal to 20 servings. So 2.5 cans is 20 servings. So if you ate 2,100 calorie servings to get to 2,000 calories, your total fat would be 160 grams, or 200% of the daily. And I wanted to comp that out, and by comp that out, I've got these dry roasted peanuts here, so I was kind of interested in what's the difference in the nutritional information between boiled peanuts and dry roasted peanuts, and we got the nutritional information on the back of this, so I'll comp it out based on dry roasted peanuts. So we said 2,000 calories is 2.5 cans, costs you $5.92. For 2,000 calories or 2,080 calories of dry roasted peanuts, that's $2.37. So this is certainly more expensive, and you wouldn't actually need this entire container to get to 2,000 calories. Compared to the boiled peanuts, you need 2.5 cans. So if you're going in purely on weight, this is 1 pound. So it's less than a pound here versus 25 ounces times 2.5 puts you 50, 60, almost 70 ounces for the boiled peanuts. So weight-wise, dry peanuts has an advantage. Cost-wise, dry peanuts has an advantage. So your total fat, if you ate 2.5 cans, 20 servings of the dry roasted peanuts, would be 160 grams of total fat, which is 200% of the daily recommended. Compared to the dry roasteds, 156 grams, so 208%. So the fat level in the dry versus the boiled is about the same. So I suspect they didn't remove any of the fat as part of the boiling process. So next you have sodium, 8,200 milligrams, 360% of daily if you ate 2.5 cans. Comped out at 1,365 milligrams, 52% of the daily. So straight dry peanuts, this is 52% of your daily if you ate 2,080 calories versus 360% of the daily. So way more sodium, ton more sodium, 1,300 versus 8,000 milligrams. So they pack it full of salt in here. Total carbs, so this is 60 grams, 20% of your daily if you ate 2,000 calories with a boiled, versus 105 grams, 39% of your daily. So you're actually getting less carbs in the boiled peanuts. Way more salt, but less carbs. And then protein, 100 grams versus 78 grams. So it's an interesting comparison. Obviously, there's a ton of salt in here. Somehow less carbs and more protein, which I don't quite understand how that works out. I'm just doing the math based on the nutritional information on the can. It says iron and potassium. Now it's interesting, this has a 2-year shelf life on the can, and the dry peanuts also have a 2-year shelf life, so that kind of threw me off. So I mean, in terms of long-term food storage, as much as canned goods are great, the dry roasted seems more nutritional dense and a lot less expensive. So I'm not sure on the advantage of boiled, unless it would just last a lot longer than the best by date on here. I can't speak to that, versus we know the dry peanuts can also potentially last longer than the best by date. But just for fun, since I've never had boiled peanuts, if I can get this open here, let's check it out, what's in the can here. It does say you can eat them straight out of the can. It's the South's favorite snack. Let's try to open this up without spilling it everywhere. Oh, here we go. Holy cow. Not sure what I expected, but it is, so you can see that. It's actually the entire peanut plus the shell. Ooh, in some brine. So they didn't even shell the peanuts, and maybe that's why the nutritional information is different. Crack one open here. It's literally a jar of peanuts, or a can, not a jar. Literally a can. It's soft and squishy. Wow. And you can taste that brine. I don't know. That's quite a thing. So I've never had it. I've got a whole can here. Might share it with some of the, I like to share the really good stuff with the pigs, so I might share some of that with the pigs. Nothing against it. If you're in a survival situation, 2.5 cans, and you're good for a day, I might stick with the dry instead of the canned. That was fascinating. So, as always, thank you for watching, and we appreciate you.